Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
And he's not allowed to be on the property while over the West Haven. He was on trespass 2 weeks ago, and he's not allowed to be on the property while over the West Haven. He was on trespass 2 weeks ago, and he's not allowed to be on the property while over the West Haven.
Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
And he's not allowed to be on the property while over the West Haven.
Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
Greetings. A lot of people in the United States of America and around the world are studying the book, the Mueller report, concerning possible collusion with the Russians and our President, Donald Trump. It's all over TV stations, the radio, and other networks. But today I stand in front of the Lowndes County High School system wherein Superintendent Wes Taylor serves, and I must bring this forward because the month of May marked 6 years that I, George Boston Rhines, have been under a criminal trespass in Valdosta in Lowndes County, Georgia. Following the death of Kendrick Johnson, January the 10th, 2013, and his body was found on the 11th. This month will be 6 years that the Lowndes County Sheriff Department under Sheriff Bryan and Superintendent Wes Taylor placed me under criminal trespass, banned me from this property. They took away my freedom of movement. Not in Russia, not in China, not in Afghanistan, Pakistan, or Iran, but right here where I stand in Valdosta, Georgia, Titletown, USA. I said 6 years ago that I know a lot of people that they have put on criminal trespasses to keep them off of this property, especially following the death of Kendrick Johnson. But I said to the world that this trespass will not just go away, it will not vanish into the sunset. As a retired military veteran, I have an obligation. I must still obey my code of conduct, which states that I am an American fighting man, prepared to give my life in the defense of my country, that I will not take any special favors, nor payroll, nor even meet with the enemies. That means that I cannot collude with the Russians when I was in uniform. And so today I stand before you after 6 years to prove that America, the state of Georgia, Valdosta and Lowndes County could care less about my rights as a retired military veteran. And so now I want to highlight in short form. I said it to you before, and I try to keep my promise to you. The month of May, I intend, listen, I have pleaded with everybody, including all the way up to the Department of Justice under Eric Holder and the Barack Obama administration. The truth must be told so the lies can be exposed. And so now, I will go again to the federal government of these United States of America, the same federal government that I served in uniform during the Vietnam War. I'm going to readdress this criminal trespass that Wes Taylor, former Sheriff Prine, have already admitted, because I sent a letter to them requesting that they provide me in writing any law that I violated. And I must give honor to where honor is due. They sent me a letter stating that they did not have anything on me in writing, no video, no audio, no complaints from a citizen or nothing of that level. And so I told them, thank you. But since you put me under this, and I have the audio, and I'm going to include it in this video for all of you who think that I am a liar like they are. I'm going to let you listen to Sheriff Prine, Wes Taylor, Lowndes County Sheriff Deputy Thomas, and another white deputy in front of the Board of Education building where he ran my driver's license and said that Wes Taylor put me under this criminal trespass. Then I'm going to let you listen to John Robinson, a local minister, who said that somebody told him that I was under a criminal trespass and that they had something on me. You're going to hear Wes Taylor say that the Sheriff Department had something that they were working on me because they found something in my records. I've said it then, and I will say it 6 years later. There ain't a damn thing in my record except what they want to be there or what they will put in there, for I am a honorably discharged military veteran of the Vietnam era. I contend that the people now stationed at Moody Air Force Base, I contend that the students attending Georgia Military College, I contend that the students at Valdosta State University, I contend that students attending Wiregrass Technical College, I contend that if you come to visit Kinderloo Golf Course, I contend that if you go to Wild Adventures Theme Park during your recreation and vacation and want to spend it here in Valdosta, I contend if you want to go to Francis Lake Golf Course, I contend that you could be stopped in the same manner that I was stopped and placed under a criminal trespass without violating any law. I contend that no local member of law enforcement or agency, no state agency, the people that you elect into office will not even say boo in trying to restore not an illegal alien, but a bona fide citizen whose ancestors was brought into slavery after being kidnapped here in the United States of America. I contend that they don't give a damn about you. They won't even fly a Georgia flag here in sitting historically have been an extremely racist community that even deal with the issuance of contracts, and federal monies when dealing with the CDBG grants, as former councilman, the late councilman James Wright talked about at public meetings here in the state of Georgia. Now, in conclusion, the people here in Valdosta are a strange set of people. They know that this place is corrupt. They know it is racism from the hip up. White people know it. They will talk to you about it in the bathroom with their heads stuck deep down in the commode. Even lawyers will talk about the judicial system in the bathroom with the commode lid down. But they will not say nothing publicly because they understand how corrupt Valdosta and Lowndes County is from the hip up. So this criminal trespass on me is just one of many. Not to mention the racist system that exists according to workers in the Lowndes County lunchroom. Now I know the black people and the white people that work there are going to appreciate me saying that. Why? Because they can't say that unless they are fired, terminated, or worse. And so somebody must stand up and tell the truth, like the Kendrick Johnson family, and there must be those who is on Kendrick Johnson racist or bogus hoax on YouTube called Kendrick Johnson racist hoax or something like that. Visit it. See how people talk, even about me. And I want you to notice, I have a right to do videos and respond to what they say about me, but I don't. You don't see where I do it. I want them to talk about me just as much as they please. And the more they talk, I bend my knees, because the God of my ancestors decreed that if you hold your peace when you are wrong and counted among the righteous, I will fight your battle. I will cause sickness to come upon the perpetrators of those lies. I will cause them to lose their mind. I will cause their children to be born deformed. But whatever it is that God does is all right with me. But you cannot say that I have attacked them like they attacked me. And so I want to close once again for the people who still attending Lowndes County High School, the educators who know what went down at the Kendrick Johnson's situation. I want to say to you, the mother, Jackie, the father, Kendrick, are not going away, because like me, they are called by a greater source, by a greater power, to stand up for justice, to stand up beyond a church building, to stand up beyond a denomination, to stand up beyond what they pastors say, stand up beyond what the Catholic Church ordained for wicked people masquerading as followers of Jesus, but won't stand up for a rotten bowl of grits. And so we want to say that God, at this dispensation, which is the age of Aquarius, is raising up people that gonna tell the truth, because they understand the real Jesus. They understand the real God. They understand the real Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We have followed the wrong Jesus. We have followed the wrong Christ. We sit in church, we placate, we duplicate, we imitate, but we will not stand up for the abused, the oppressed, the widows, the orphans, orphans, nor will you embrace the Kendrick Johnson family as they search in their quest for justice concerning the death of their son. You will not ask the news media network, such as Channel 27 out of Tallahassee, WLB out of Albany, CBS, the Valdosta Daily Times, located right here in Valdosta. The public will not say to the editor of the Valdosta Daily Times, how in the world, Mr. Editor, how in the world, Valdosta Daily Times, how in the world can the radio stations not ignore me, who've been under this bogus, criminal, trespass, when I violated no law, as I'm going to show you in a few minutes. I want you to listen to the Honorable Wes Taylor. I want you to understand when you look at CNN videos. I want you to understand that they wouldn't even let the mother ID her own son's body. Wouldn't let the family members ID the body. They wouldn't even secure the crime scene. Videotapes is all screwed up. The coroner said the crime scene was screwed up. He even did an interview with CNN and then wanted it back. But CNN, thank God, he recorded it and he shared it with the world. But who cares about that? And so now, I'm not a smart man. I'm not a airplane pilot. Make a long story short, I'm not an engineer, but I am a rocking chair operator. So now look, in the military, I worked with the security police. Although I was not a security police, I worked with the OSI, Office of Special Investigations, although I was not a special agent on the local base. But I had a top secret clearance in San Antonio, Texas, from Security Service Headquarters. And let me tell you what I learned. What I learned is this. If the Sheriff Department denied the family the right to ID their own body, somebody should have asked law enforcement, why didn't you allow them to do it? Number one. Number two, who failed to secure the crime scene? Number three, who was responsible for the videotapes at the school? Yeah, who was responsible for access to the gym where Kendrick Johnson's body was found? Who was the janitor that locked and unlocked the building for him to go in? How and who could ignore the blood stains on the wall? Now look, my experience with the government and my circles, you do not let these things happen without some agency. In other words, the local, state, or federal should hold somebody accountable, and they should have to make corrective actions, or in the future, if they find a body on Lowndes County School property, they will deny the parents again the right to ID their body. If no corrective action are taken, if nobody's punished, they will not secure the crime scene again. There will be no accountability for making sure that the videotapes are not doctored, ordered, and maintained and stored away properly. If no corrective action were taken, the teachers could know the truth, and they will never say it because of the fear that I found out by walking with Mr. Webster and the other investigator from Jacksonville, Florida, and they wouldn't even let them on to the school property at the early stages of the investigation following that young man's death. Once again, May marks the 6th year. The 6th year that our George Boston Rhines was placed under a bogus criminal trespass. And it is indeed a disgrace. Wait a minute. I haven't finished yet. They've done other things to me and tried to do other things. I have most of it all is documented in one form or another. I don't talk about all of it because I know we got some bigger devils than the one we have seen yet. And so when they come out, wait, let me tell you one more. Now, I'm gonna wait. I'm about to say it, I'll wait. But let me close by saying this to you. I came out here today because today is May the 5th. And I want you to know that this case very soon will be readdressed to federal governmental agencies. Yes, let me say it again. I don't want nobody to misunderstand what I say, nor what I do. And if you want to see more videos about what has happened to me, all you have to do is go to YouTube and Google Boston G.B.R. Do you think I'm angry about all this? I'm not angry about this. You see, I'm aware of the wickedness of white supremacy. I know about white supremacy. My grandmama taught me about that when we was little children. She told us about the Ku Klux Klan uniform in the house that she used to clean. And she never said nothing about it. Nothing. And she treated them just like they were her friends. But she knew them. My grandma taught me to operate like I'm operating today. Because she gave me something that I will never depart from. If I didn't believe this, I've already seen it happen. I could take you to Germany and tell you what happened to some white people there who rose up against me. So I'm just going to continue to say, I'm going to continue to trust in the God that delivered my grandmother. We have 50 acres of land over in Brooks County, Georgia. White people tried to take it. I'm talking about the banks, the finance companies. But you know, they didn't take it. And it's all because of what the real Jesus said. I'm not talking about your fake Jesus. And I'm not talking about your fake God, the one that you believe in. He said in Matthew 24:35, I ain't talking about your Jesus. I'm talking about my Jesus. My Jesus said that heaven and earth would pass away, but my word will stand forever. And St. John 8:32 says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set and make you free. Nobody would dream after black folk was murdered just for looking at a white woman that you would see black men marrying, walking down the street with white women. And some black men are even mistreating them. Nobody dreamed of that. But God, now I'm not talking about your God, but my God foretold that. My Jesus foretold that. And my Jesus also said, though we suffer and though we die, by the blood of the Lamb we shall overcome. So why do you think I stand out here and cut these videos in front of this high school? Why do I do it? Am I crazy? You can call me crazy if you like. As Queen Anne Robinson once said, the C is for courageous. The R is for rare. The A is for as long as I stand up for your children when you refuse to stand up for them. When I walk down the path of the shadow of death, I am the apple of God's eye. C-R-A-Z. And zenith. The C represents the zenith. That's the peak of the pyramid. That's the highest height in heaven. Where Jesus, I ain't talking about your Jesus, that let you sit in church that don't take on no issues. All you do is clap your hand and talk about how holy you are and criticize everybody else who are trying to do something. I I used to be with that Jesus. I used to be with a God where all I did was went to church to read my Bible, went to Sunday school, went to Bible study on Wednesday night, prayer meeting and bear meeting on Friday night. On Friday night, go back to worship, drink blood like a vampire on Sunday, the first Sunday, talking about I'm drinking the blood of Jesus, but I didn't want to suffer like Jesus. Didn't want to suffer like Martin Luther King. And so I used to do that. But when I discovered the real Jesus, when I found the real God who moved me out of the church, gave up them stupid license wherein I was indoctrinated and incarcerated and wouldn't even stand up for my own children, I had to do what the real Apostle Paul said. I was transformed by the renewing of my mind, and I was transformed to stand up for what is right, holy, and in accordance with the God that I now know. And the God I know now did not give us. The God I know now did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And of course, C-R-A-Z and the Y represents yes. I'm crazy. And all the letters are capital. You see, when I care about you, and when I care about the children still going out here in Lowndes County High School, they really don't even know if there's a murderer still out there at that school. They don't know. They don't know if a murderer is still on the loose. They do not know the parents. The parents, let me show you how stupid some of the parents are. They can't understand that if KJ was murdered at the school, and they denied Jackie and Kendrick the right to ID their body, that means they can do it to you. That means that if your child is found dead, they don't have to secure the crime scene. They don't have to tell you who opened the doors to let your child into the gym in the first place. They don't really tell you what the video showed, although taxpayers paid for the video. They won't show you or tell you that how the person was disciplined so he could make correction if he wasn't fired, but they didn't do nothing. You don't know the new procedures put in place, if they can put in it, about the coroner when he walk up on a crime scene and see it's not right. What did they do to correct that? That means your child can be a victim just like the Kendrick Johnson parents, and you sitting here talking, making fun out of them when they really trying to help you in your state of ignorance. The reason I'm fighting this criminal trespass is not for me, because I really could care less about it. I know they denied me my rights, but they've done that so long to the black Americans until we used to that. But I just want the people to know that this same thing can happen to you, your children, when you send them to Moody Air Force Base, when you send them to Valdosta State University. They can be just riding along. It don't have to be a criminal trespass. You see, this is about a mindset. This is about a mentality when law enforcement don't have to give you no respect at all. They can just pull you over, take you to the jailhouse, and then let you out after 3 weeks and call it even, and that you lost your job. You can have 31 jail deaths at the Lowndes County Jail from 1994 to 2009. And from 2009 to 2019, you don't know because you don't have a news media that is concerned enough to even talk about it. You don't even have a news media that will even report the news in the black community that are concerning the needs and mistreatment of black people such as myself. Now, wait a minute. You can think this just about me. No, there was a black lady, and I promise you I'm closing out this. This is the truth now. A 14-year-old girl at Lowndes County Middle School was hog-tied with her hand behind her back, put on the floor, say she struck an educator. When it all went down, the educator said that black girl didn't even touch her. But she had to go through all of that. Eventually, they dropped all the charges on her. But look what the mother had to go through. I was in that mix too, y'all. Yeah, I was in the mix. You see the video. All you have to do, Google the 14-year-old. It's all been documented. But your news media, when that mother went to the Valdosta Daily Times. When that mother went to your local white-dominated, white-owned news media outlet, they wouldn't even tell her story. I told you all about the homeless man found over there on South Woodland Lane. They haven't reported that yet. I'm telling y'all, that first they mistreat the black man, and then they're going to end up treating every man in the land. But because you ignore it, the same thing will be knocking on your door. Y'all have a nice day. As I said, May gonna be a very interesting month concerning the Kendrick Johnson case and a bogus, racist, illegal, unjustified, unwritten criminal trespass that took place right here where I'm standing on May the 25th, 2013, and even 2 weeks before that. Deputy Thomas told me, and I got the voice of that deputy, I got the voice of Deputy Thomas, I got the voice of Wes Taylor, I got the voice of Minister Robinson, I got the voice of former Sheriff Prime, I got all of that. And so you can call me and have the voice examined by a voice expert. And you will find out that what I just said then is what I've always said and stood for. The truth. Because in the end, only truth, right, and justice gonna win. Look, I feel sorry for these people who think they can keep mistreating black folk and God don't ever punish them. Now, they may get away in this life, but their children, according to Scripture, their children, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren, down to generation after generation gonna pay. Yeah, man, they are not going to get away. And if God, I'm not talking about your God. I'm not talking about your Jesus, but the true and living God. If he let the teachers off, listen, those teachers at Lowndes County High School who know what went down in the death of Kendrick Johnson and refuse to stand up on the side of truth, what do you think gonna happen to your child, your grandchild, your great-grandchildren? But you gonna pay. I guarantee you're gonna pay. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, I have enough trust in the God of my black ancestors and what God did for them to say this unequivocally. That if God let these people get away with all the stuff that they are doing here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, in the state of Georgia, then God is a liar. God himself is a liar. If he let these people off, that's why I tell you, you don't have to fight the wicked. God said that's not your war. God said that's my war. And he said he gonna pay them for their works. Their evil deeds must be weighed in the balance. As Nebuchadnezzar, in the volume of sacred law. So y'all have a nice day. And let me close again. I know I've lied. But see, I love you and your children so much. I love your children. You may not love your children, but if you love your children, you would join with the Kendrick Johnson family. They tell you all the time, it's not just about our child, but it's about every child that go out to Lowndes County High School that don't know if they are living among a murderer or not. Some of the teachers may be a murderer. We don't know yet. We don't know. Because the investigation was messed up. They didn't have professionals in the crime lab, left the body out. What corrective action has been done that they don't leave another body in the crime lab out to decompose? Who care about it? What did the G.B.R. say about it? What did Victor Blackwell publish about it? Victor Blackwell, what corrective action was taken on all that you found? Victor Blackwell, did you ever ask that question? Michael Moore, I don't have no respect for Michael Moore at all. I think he got scared of these people down south here, and he ran up north, or he ran someplace. But some of us was born into the world to help build a more respectable America. Martin Luther King went down trying to make these white folk live up to something they wrote on paper, but didn't mean it for the black man, woman, and their children. Look here. Y'all have a nice day. May God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. And share it with somebody. Share it with somebody. It could be your child that died next at the Lowndes County High School. Yes, it may be your child. And then they not even going to let you ID your own child's body. And you can't ask for no worse situation than that. Hey, brother, are you filming me? Hey, brother, you filming me? Now, look here, I have a brother out here. I asked him, was he filming me? I didn't get no response. But this is what I do. I face everybody. I don't care which way they go. You can film me all you want if you want to. I really don't care. You film me if you like it. I just asked the question.
Yes.
I asked you, what you filming me? If you was, I don't care. Have a nice day, my friend. That's all right, but you have a nice day. Because I really don't care. Okay, that's my point, brother. Take care of yourself. I'll tell you, man. Love you, brother. So, this is what I'm all about. I don't play games. I ain't got nothing. I don't say nothing that I'm not willing to face in a court of law. Don't you remember the day I was out here, the police officer walked up to me because somebody lied and said I was standing in the street blocking traffic? They were a liar, and the truth was not in them. This is what I stand for. I learned that years ago. I would never have retired from the armed forces if I did not stand up for what is right and what is truthful. Because I caught hell in the military by wicked white folk and racist white folks. Yeah, and got the documentation to prove it. Yeah, I got the documentation to prove it. I can call their names. Major Hop, Major Robinson, Colonel Kirkland. Yeah. Not only do I have their names, I have their social security numbers. Well, yeah, most all of them, they signed off on my performance reports. And I'm not ashamed of my performance reports. I was outstanding, man. Very proud of what my grandmama put in me from a child. And that is a standard for truth. And willing to die on the square compass, which represents truth and the Holy Spirit of the living God. The same God that brought the real children of Israel. The real children of Israel. I'm not talking about the Ashkenazi Jews who are masquerading as Jews. I'm talking about the ancient Ethiopian Jews. All that too gonna come to the light. We know the lies that's being told. They kept us from reading the book for over 400 years in North America. And yet we still compete and test with white people who didn't have those impediments put before them. And we do pretty well. Do pretty well. Went to segregated schools, and when we got out of those segregated schools, we had to compete with the best of the schools, including the private schools and the Catholic schools, and black folk held their own. It wasn't by our goodness, it's the goodness of our God. I remember my grandmother saying most all of our young life that Jefferson Davis had a very continuous and unending quote. And here was his quote, and I'm going to close on this note. He told white people, hold the nigger race down. Jefferson Davis, hold the nigger race down. My grandma was not a violent person. When at her funeral, I think at least about a third of the people was white, because that's the life she lived. But she was not a punk out person. She believed in the real Jesus. She believed in the real God. She read about the real Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And she governed her life accordingly. And y'all know the older I get, the happier I am. Because the more truth you speak in God's word, the more freer you become. Again, y'all have a nice day. Bye-bye. And if you want to, share this with somebody. Share it with somebody. Tell people about Boston G.B.R. on YouTube. Because they're going to shut me down pretty soon on YouTube, y'all. Y'all already know that, don't you? Yeah, they're going to shut me down pretty soon. Because we living among Satanists. These are devil worshippers that walk among you. You sitting in church with devil worshippers. They're masquerading their service of Jesus, but they talking about the fake Jesus. They're not talking about the Jesus that you and your ancestors worship. They got another Jesus, and they got another agenda. Bye-bye. We go. Now look, if they did this to me, and they did, they also can do this to you, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, and coming generations. Unless somebody is willing to stand up for what is right. Now look, they criticize the Honorable Kendrick Johnson and Jacqueline for simply asking a question. Why could we not view the remains of our son? Why and who removed his organs and they can't be accounted for? Where is our child's clothes that we purchased for them? How could it be that information...
Hey, sir, can I stop you for a second?
Just a minute. Now,
okay, how long are you going to take? Because I can't be here all day.
Now, right now, I'm fit. Here's the Lowndes County Sheriff Department, the very people I'm talking about.
No, I'm Valdosta Police Department.
The Valdosta Police Department.
Okay, I just need you for 30 seconds.
And what I want to do, I'm going to turn off the video because I want to listen to them. Now, yes, sir, what do you want?
Okay, I just want, we got a call about you out in traffic, and we didn't see you in traffic, but we just came here to ask if you were stepping out. And if you were, we're not saying you were, but if you were, please stay on the sidewalk. We're just getting calls about it. So we're coming out here just to make sure you are okay and everything's okay, all right? Is that good?
That's perfect. Will you please tell Chief Childress that I appreciate him responding to the citizens of this community?
Yes, sir.
I think that's the best thing that can be done. I think that's what needs to be done. I wish somebody would respond to me being under a 2-year, 5-month criminal trespass and banned from Lowndes County High School without violating any law. And if that had not happened to me, I would not be standing here on public property, not in the street. And I want you to know, and I want the person that called in, that they gave you their name, tell them that they are a liar and the truth is not in them. For I am an upright, retired military veteran that served my country. Officer King.
And Newton. Yes, sir.
And be sure to pass this on to Chief Childress and tell him I appreciate him doing what we are paying them to do.
Feel free to do your thing. Just please try to watch traffic and all that stuff, okay?
I've been doing this since 75. Okay. Take care of yourself. Come on, my beautiful brother. Shake my hand. I ain't got nothing wrong. Y'all good people. And we got a lot of people that... Look, this is what it's on. Y'all can go ahead and thank you very much. Okay. Appreciate you, man. I want you all to say something. Look, let me say this to you all. You know, this is what happened. You know, everybody got something to say about people when they try to do what is right. I have not violated any law. Yet somebody gonna say I'm out of here in traffic. Isn't that something? Liars. They apparently are of their father, the devil. The wicked one. But all I want to say to you is that I love them. I know why they're doing what they're doing. And sooner or later, you're going to see it clearer than what you've ever seen it. Because I made sure that I understood what Deputy Thomas said to me. He said to me, if I go as far as about 50 feet and make a turn into those, I would be arrested. And that's why I'm out here on public property. This is a public sidewalk. This is the sidewalk. That's where I am. But because of these patriots here in Valdosta and the righteous people, they are going to say to me or to the city police that I'm in the street. Now look, do I look that silly? If I have gone all this time by being under a criminal trespass, and I never got violent. I have never even just outrightly called Eric Holder when I say that. I never called Governor, I say that. I never called Attorney General, I never call that. And there are people who often honk at me because they know what I'm doing. But I'm not going away. And so you come on and do what you got to do, because my children and grandchildren is going to take it up. Although no law enforcement office care enough about my rights or your rights to say, look, not even the newspaper. Don't you think the newspaper should be concerned about this for the simple fact that they supposed to be concerned about reporting the news? And when I went to them, do you know that Kay Harris of the Valdosta Daily Times was not even interested in this story? I went to Channel 6, I went to Channel 10, I went to Channel 27, I went to all those stations. And do you not know that they wouldn't even say boo? Y'all better wake up. Today is the black man, but sooner or later, it's going to be about every man in the land. You understand what I'm saying? And so I love doing this, because I know that in the end, we are going to show the entire world what a real democracy look like. Don't you know that when we marched in the streets in the 40s, the 50s, and 60s, that we were making America look better in the eyes of the world in terms of what the founding fathers wrote in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, that all men were created equal? You can't say you believe that, and you got millions of slaves here in the land of the free and the home of the brave. So God allowed the black man to help America save herself from herself before she destroyed herself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, well, no, you know me, man. I'm a vibe, but I'll do exactly what you
go in this area, you will get arrested, okay?
Okay, what can I do?
You can stay right here.
Okay, they got a public meeting down here, so you're telling me I can't go to the public meeting?
I do not know anything about that.
I got you, but there's a public meeting.
All I'm saying is,
I'm not going. I understand that, but what I'm saying is that there's a public meeting down here, so you all telling me that I cannot go to a public meeting.
And I'm glad to hear that, because you know what? Valdosta Daily Times ain't gonna report this story. You know why? Because Valdosta Daily Times are tied in. Huh? No, they're not going to report this.
I'm a minister at the First Antioch Missionary Baptist Church, and my grandchildren attend school out there. And there were some things that I was kind of concerned about, because I had asked a gentleman by the name of George Boston Ryan to come in and video my granddaughter's graduation, and he was stopped and said he wasn't allowed to come on the premises, and we was trying to find out what had he done that he couldn't come out there.
He was stopped by who?
By the sheriff department. Said that he was given orders by you guys that he wasn't allowed on the premises.
Okay. I think that may be something he'd have to take up with the sheriff's department. Okay.
So you guys, it's okay if he come out to the premises if something come up?
No, sir. What I'm saying is I believe that there was, and I don't know what they called it, some sort of order based on something that happened in the past, that I believe that there's something in place. And again, I think either he would need to discuss that with you, or possibly the sheriff's department.
Oh, okay.
So I do believe there's something in place. I don't want to tell you something that's not right. Right. But I do believe that is accurate.
Right. Well, all right. Well, I tell you what, can you set an appointed time that I can come in and sit down with you?
Yes, sir. I would be glad to.
What about tomorrow sometime? What would be a good time?
I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Hold on just a minute. Let me turn this calendar around.
All right.
Can you see your calendar?
No, I'm not at the present time.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. Is there a particular day of the week that's better for you?
What about today? What about Friday morning?
Well, we're closed the rest of this week. That's what I was going to
Okay.
This is part of the time when...
Well, what about Monday of next week?
All right. Let me open this thing up. Monday is June the 3rd.
Yes, sir.
I've got on Monday and Tuesday of next week, I'm meeting with we have 12 schools. I'm meeting with all of our principals on Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
I've already got all of them scheduled.
Well, I'm scheduled to go to Atlanta. I got to be in Atlanta on Wednesday and the rest of that week, so I can't make that one.
All right, well, hold on just a minute. I'm just flipping over the next week, which is Monday the 10th.
Okay.
I've got a principals meeting that day. Hold on, we'll get us a day. Hold on just a minute. minute. Let me turn this thing over. That Thursday morning, which is the 13th, and I know you may not know off the top of your head, but that may be a possibility we could shoot for.
Okay. Well, you busy the rest of the day?
Is that on the 13th, on that Thursday?
Well, yeah, but what about today?
I've got somebody scheduled at 3 and then somebody after that.
All right, well, we'll just make it for that time then, and we'll see what we can do, and I'll give you a call back, or we'll get back in touch.
All right, so you want to set a time on that morning, or you want to just wait and call me back? Whatever works for you.
I'll just call you back.
Okay, all right, that'll be fine, and we'll get a time that'll work for both of us, and I'll be glad to.
All right, well, as of you know right now, there's nothing that you guys have done to say that George Ryans can't come on the school campus.
I think there is something in place through the sheriff's department.
Okay.
Yes, I do think there is, but
all right.
I prefer that he either talk to you about that or the sheriff's department. I don't want to tell you something's not right.
Okay, all right. Well, that'll work then. All right.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
Thank you.
Today makes 11 months my son was found at Lowndes High School, rolled up in a mat. I was at that school the day they found my son. They treated us like nobody from day one. They're still treating us like nobody. But we declare that we're here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. They want us to leave, and when we leave, it's gonna be when they give us justice for my son.
Amen.
We want to thank everyone for coming out, supporting our family. But I want to know, they are known to use us and tear down our character. But Kendrick, that they can't do.
Amen.
Kendrick was at school where he was supposed to be.
Amen.
And out of 3,000 students, plus teachers, plus a school with resource officers at the school.
Yes.
How in the world can a student go missing during school and be murdered at school?
My.
As you all know, his organs was missing. But let me tell you a little bit about that. It's from the top of his head to his pelvis was missing. Yeah, the brain, his windpipe, his tongue, his heart, and everything else inside of his body was missing.
My Lord.
So I want the justice system to tell me, how is it that all of that is going on with his body, someone is not charged with something?
Amen.
It can't be.
My God. Cannot be.
You mean to tell me, from the time he was last seen on that surveillance camera, within 15 or 20 minutes, he gonna cut off all of his fingernails till they start to bleed. He gonna scroll his photos around the gym. He gonna throw the shoe over inside the mat and say, I think I'll go over there and get it now. So how does one shoe inside the mat and the other ones away from the mat.
Right.
And then he gets inside the mat, gets stuck, and then I guess the pair of shoes that he had on his feet, he kicks them off.
Makes no sense.
How can that be?
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
And other than that, the clothes that he had, what he dressed out in, how's the data missing? From the clothes he had on, from when they took him to make him to the crime lab, how come that they are missing? So out of all this stuff that's going on, why isn't someone arrested for something?
Amen. How long?
So is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Thank you.
KJ! Who killed KJ? Come on! Who killed KJ? Who killed KJ?
How long?
So is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
Good morning. Hey, Melissa. No. Hey, Nick. Hey, Nigel. Hey, Trina. Good morning. Good morning. So we get up this morning. So I get up this morning. And I be damned if somebody ain't threw a brick and bust my bike window out my car. I don't know if it had to do with because we went to court yesterday, or is it just some random person mad?
Greetings. This is the Get Two Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rise in Valdosta, Georgia. The KJ case and Jacqueline, the parents of Kendrick Johnson, met with Judge Golden and Attorney Copeland, and I was in the courtroom, and I will have that video available sometimes tomorrow. I want to appreciate the people who are concerned about this case. But I just want to say that I appreciate Judge Golden allowing us to exercise the rights as citizens of this republic to have access to the courtrooms. In addition to that, I would like to also thank the attorneys involved for not denying us the right to bring the information to the people of Valdosta, Loudoun County, and the Kendrick Johnson family members who may have had to work today. But they can watch this video and they can see what happened. And as a retired military veteran, I believe that this is the best way to exercise the freedoms that we have in this country. And so I want to thank the Southern Judicial System here in Valdosta, Loudoun County, South Georgia, for showing that you respect the active duty, disabled, deceased, and retired military veterans. I also would like to see somewhere in the future that some judge or some governor or some attorney, if not a commander at Moody Air Force Base, would look into why there is no Georgia flag flying here at this judicial complex in Valdosta, Loudoun County, Georgia. And while they're at it, they may want to ask, why do we disrespect our active duty and those men and women in uniform? As long as there's not a Georgia flag that is disrespecting our armed forces that serve this country, that put their life on the line. The same thing for city government at City Hall, the Valdosta Lowndes County Museum, the city annex. I look at these places because as a veteran, I know that I've had people that died in Vietnam fighting for this country. And I believe that it is indeed a disgrace to everybody that wears a uniform when there is no state flag. If there is a natural disaster, we call on these men and these women to protect, to save lives, and to rebuild. And it's only right to fly the Georgia flag as all other states in the United States. I can't get around it. And I don't care if no other base commander in the state of Georgia, I don't care if any state legislator or secretary of state or attorney general, if they don't say nothing about it. I love your mothers, your fathers, your sisters, your children who serve in the armed forces, willing to die for this country, as I was during the Vietnam era. I think that there should be a Georgia flag flown here over this judicial complex. Now, this to get to free press.
Big mad or whatever. I don't know if they thought that was going to make us, move us, or break us. The windows being repaired right now. But I wonder, was they trying to send us, is somebody trying to send us a message or what? But I'm finna give them a message right back. I don't give a damn what you people do. You're not going to stop us from fighting for Kendrick Johnson. Because Kendrick Johnson's life matter. The rest of that stuff, like busting glasses out people when that's childish and that's ignorant. But do know that it's not going to stop us from fighting for Kendrick Johnson. I done had a glass bust out my front window earlier last year, and it wasn't that bad. We just got it replaced, just like that one being replaced right now.
You see that, Mom?
So, I mean, I don't know what people be thinking when they do little stupid stuff. And if it was some little random person right around here, somebody gonna tell on you sooner or later.
Yes.
Somebody gonna tell on you sooner or later. That's just how, cause you know they talk so much in Valdosta. Except about the right thing. They talk about petty stuff. Right. It don't even make no sense what the stuff that people do. Somebody done came, they ain't had nothing better to do. Hey, Erica, ain't had nothing better to do but come throw a brick and bust my bike glass out my car. I got to say, because it don't make no sense. What they thought that you was finna get a reward, or you finna make us stop fight for Kendrick? I mean, ain't nothing nobody can do to make us stop fight for Kendrick. If that was the message you sending, you better come better.
Better than that. Because
guess what? That little glass that you broke out, we got another one for $400, and it's being put in right now. So it just don't make no sense how ignorant people is that you ain't got nothing better to do than try to come vandalize somebody's car. It don't make no sense. I mean, I still got joy. It might not be all day, every day, but I still got joy because I'm going to still fight for Kendrick Johnson. The more they do, they just give me more strength to fight even a little harder. The more they come at me, the more I can come right back at them. You still ain't winning. Because in this city, y'all got the right family that's fighting because we ain't going nowhere.
Period.
Yeah, they real mad with us because we the only somebody that's done stood up to him and gonna continue to stand up to him.
Because this baby right here that's on my shirt, on this hoodie, he matter. He matter then, and he sure enough matter now.
Y'all killed the wrong child.
Yep. Scare tactics, but they ain't scaring nobody.
Who they stopping more?
Nobody. Nobody. We gonna continue to fight for Kendrick Johnson. We ain't got no help in our city, but baby, guess what? We are the city when it come to Kendrick Johnson. We are the whole city. We a whole army. We a whole army when it come to them children. We got so many mamas that you just grieving and don't know how to stand and know how to fight. Get up on your feet. That's how you fight. Fight back.
Fight back.
Kendrick Johnson mean you got to fight back. And that's what we've been doing since day one. Fighting back. We ain't had time to grieve. I done cried and shed a whole bunch of tears. But I turning them tears into power. Letting them know that this one, mother, you can't shut up. You are not going to shut up. Like, I stand for the mamas. I stand for the people that we don't want nobody else to ever have to go through what we going through with Kendrick. Like, a lot of people think I'm just fighting for Kendrick Johnson. I'm fighting for every black son. Because tomorrow or the day, it could be your son. 2013, it was mine. But it still can be your son. Kendrick is your son. People better wake up and think these people care about you. They don't. Some of them got that old slavery mentality, and that's just what they gonna live by. Or some of them saying, as long as it wasn't my family, I ain't worried about it. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But you ought to be ashamed of yourself. If you got a black or brown baby out here, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. If you don't stand for your own child and you won't stand with nobody else's child, because Kendrick just as well could have been your child. Kendrick is your son. Kendrick is your brother, your cousin. Y'all better stand up and wake up. These people don't care about you.
No.
None. Because if they cared, a lot of them would have stood up day one. You came and talk, but you don't even got people that they get mad with me, and then they mad with Kendrick. Kendrick death is bigger than me. I don't care how mad I get with a person. I still want to be there to support your son or the cause that you are fighting for. If this would have been somebody else's son, ain't no way that they would have made Kendrick ever be quiet. Kendrick was a threat. He was a black threat. And see how they feel like they got rid of the threat, but no, you didn't. Y'all left his mom and daddy here. You ain't got rid of the threat because the threat's still walking on 2 feet. You just gave us a little boost to get up and keep on fighting. Everything they do, they so dirty. And then they got the people in Valdosta even lying with them. It don't even make no sense. Talking about it was all about $1. It ain't never been about no dollar. It's about Kendrick Johnson. That baby that they killed at their high school and trying to cover it up. That's what it's about. People won't even get it. And they listen to what the folks say or what the media say. The media lie just about anything. They gonna make it their version of it. But if you want to know something about Kendrick Johnson, ask me. I'll tell you. I'm his mama. Then they try to talk about, they so childish, made a whole page about the Johnson family. A whole racist page about us. Then they got the nerve to have up a page called Kendrick Johnson Race Hoax. It ain't no hoax that Kendrick Johnson got killed at Lowndes High School. You cannot make a murder an accident. I don't care how much sugar you try to put on top of it. You cannot. And they can make these dumb behind black people in Valdosta to believe what they want. I get more white people telling me you're doing the right thing because that baby was murdered. And it's a goddamn shame when the white people are not afraid to say what they want to say. But our black people are so scared, like it don't make no sense. Or some of them just don't even give a care. It's ridiculous what me and my husband have been through and my family done been through, and we don't have nobody really standing with us or supporting us. But the only thing we do got is we got each other, and we're going to continue to use that, and we're going to let them people know that ain't nothing, like we always say, we're going to continue to fight over and over. They just left.
It don't stop.
And it ain't going nowhere.
6 years.
6 years. Say it again.
6 years.
6 years. The black people make it even worse. So that's just why we can't get nowhere. That's right. They let the folks own them, and that's why they own all their churches, all their land and everything. That's why they are still in control of everything that go on. They in control of it. And you got to do what they do, what they say. Dream, yep. Then you got all these people skinning and grinning with them, but they won't stand. It's all about, oh yeah, I'm going to keep fighting every day. And I don't know who mad out there. Is it them that's mad out there when you wake up and your bike glass bust out your car, but you ain't stopping nothing? What is $100 to a life? A little bike glass, $100. What is that? Ain't nothing they can do. Ain't nothing they can say. They can tell all the lies they want to tell. They can tell all the lies they want to tell, but it ain't going to stop what we got going on. It ain't going to stop the fight for Kendrick Johnson. That's right. If they don't stand, I got to stand. Because at the end of every day, that's my son I got to go visit out there in that graveyard every day. That's right. If they don't stand, I got to stand. Because at the end of every day, that's my son I got to go visit out there in that graveyard every day. We ain't getting him back. I'm standing for the other sons, the other Kendrick Johnsons that's out here, trying to make sure it's no more Kendrick Johnsons out here. Because they feel like they did it before and they can do it again. That's why we ain't got nowhere. When these people keep letting them take payoffs and buy off, and then they cover it up, and then the family just go away. But we ain't going nowhere. We going to stay right here, staying footed and deep-rooted in ground. We ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. Because Kendrick Johnson life matter. Like, we get more support. And support, people always think you're talking about $1. No, you get more support from outsiders than you can get right here in your own city. Why is that? Why is that? We march for Kendrick every year. And you don't even see but 1 or 2 people, besides my family, that come support us. But you want to support us behind a closed door. What you so afraid of? But one day, it may be your child. It may be your child. And every case ain't the same. But what I don't get is these other mothers that's right here in Valdosta that don't do nothing. I done heard so many talking about they're gonna let God take care of. But one thing about it, it say faith without work is dead. So it ain't gonna just happen by itself. When the cops got your file sitting right there on the table and you ain't doing nothing to push, make sure them cops doing something, opening that file, doing something with it. Faith without work is dead. I don't care how much you say you trust God. You got to get busy and do something about it. Because it don't make no sense. Like, if we just keep, because they keep talking about numbers, I want the numbers, but I ain't going to worry about the numbers, because guess what? I'm going to still fight for Kendrick Johnson. I'm going to still march for Kendrick Johnson if it ain't nobody but me and my children and my mama, because I know she going to be there. But the rest of that, I can't worry about it. And I appreciate all that outside family, that outside love. Y'all love is not going, it's not being not seen. I thank y'all.
They always here.
The outside of Valdosta, I thank y'all, because y'all let us know that somebody's still thinking about Kendrick, somebody still love us, no matter what it look like. And a lot of y'all that know the truth and just say, well, it ain't got nothing to do with my household. Maybe one day it may be your household. Then what? Then what? Then what?
Then you in our shoes.
That's right. You got to do some work. It ain't gonna just do it by itself. Them officers ain't finna, especially the cases like a lot of them to deal with drugs and they done black on black crime. They do not care. You better get off your butt and go keep pushing, aggravating them. Do your job. It is a shame you got to force them to do the job. Some of them got videos of what happened. Some of them got witnesses of something happened. And they still ain't doing nothing about it. They don't care. And then these people up in here talking about community back together. How you can get a community back together in your city when a murder done happened in your city, but you can't say nothing about that murder. You want to talk about somebody else's murder way off in a whole nother city. But what we going to talk about and we going to still keep preaching about is Kendrick Johnson. That's what I'm going to talk about, Kendrick Johnson. Because he mattered. Deanna, this morning, 9 o'clock, I went out the door. Somebody had threw a whole brick in my bike glass and busted my window out. I don't know who did it, and I hope they don't think they sending no messages, and I hope they don't think they scared me, because it's not. Yeah, they know exactly who killed Kendrick. They know. We all know. They want to try to keep covering up. You done had 3 different autopsies, and 2 of them say the same thing. We even got another pathologist to go in and do the autopsy. And he said the same thing. And like I said, I don't care how much they try. You cannot turn a murder into an accident. Ain't no way. Every day it look like it's something else. But guess what? Y'all still ain't stopping us, because we still gonna fight for this baby right here. This boy right here, he matter. Y'all can call us poor. Y'all can say we whatever. But one thing about it, we had each other, and that was enough for us. We was poor together. You should have left us together. You took something from us that was so precious, and we can't never get it back. So no, we ain't going nowhere. We gonna continue to fight y'all. And I know y'all on my live, and I know y'all got y'all people watching, and I know y'all gonna watch soon as my live go off, but I do not care. I want y'all to know that my name is Jacqueline Johnson, and I am Kendrick Johnson's mama, and I ain't going nowhere. I will see y'all in hell and high water for what y'all did to Kendrick Johnson. I know Carlos, and I appreciate y'all. Black footprints, always. It's just so many. It don't even make no sense. What we got to do for the people to start standing? Do somebody family? Do the God got to take somebody out of every house to let them know it's time for the folks to get up and stand up? Not just talk about it. You got to do some work. We need justice, and we need justice right now. That's right. If they don't stand, I got to stand. Because at the end of every day, that's my son I got to go visit out there in that graveyard. Every day. That's right. I sent my baby to school to get an education, not to come back in nobody bag. No, and think it's okay. And then for them, nobody not to say that. Teachers and principals leaving the school, and nobody don't want to say nothing. You just as guilty as them when you know what happened, instead of standing up for what's right and doing what's right and telling what you know. You get your books and your shoes and your bags and you haul behind to another school. Just not to have no part in it. But one of these days, justice gonna come. No time, Deanna. I don't know what these people thinking, what they got. We already sat back hundreds and hundreds of years. We can't catch up because our own people so scared and thinking that everything that happened to somebody else can't happen to them. I didn't think in a million years that this would happen to Kendrick Johnson, but look where I'm at. We just some people that was living there. We weren't rich. I guess Kendrick was a threat. It had to be such a threat. They felt like they had to double and triple team him, turn him black and blue, clip his fingernails, take his organs, take his clothes, take his brain, his tongue, his windpipe and throat, and everything. Y'all, they did all that.
Is the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
Then had the nerve to put it on the internet. But what they thought I was gonna lose my mind, but guess what? Y'all just made this black mama here even stronger. Still here. Still here. Still in my right mind. Still in my right mind. That's right. If they don't stand, I got to stand. Because at the end of every day, that's my son I got to go visit out there in that graveyard every day. Come on, somebody talk to me.
Hey, Dad.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm trying to wait till a few people get on, and I'm going to talk about Kendrick. On Thursday, Kendrick will have been murdered for 6 years. And 6 years later, we still have no justice. 6 years later, it still feels like we're at point zero. 6 years later, it's hard to get anything done for Kendrick because we don't have no supporters. We got people saying they support. We got a few people donating, and we're thankful for everything. But on January the 12th, Saturday, we're asking everybody to come, stand with us. Show my family some love. Show us that Kendrick really matters. And I know a lot of y'all stay out of town, but we got so many people that's close by with driving distance that can come and stand with us at 12 noon, John Sanders Park, 1151 River Street in Valdosta, Georgia. It's nothing like having people right there by your side. I'm thankful for all my Facebook friends and family, my cyber family, because I know if it wasn't for y'all, a lot of posts wouldn't get shared, a lot of things wouldn't be known because they try to keep it covered up right here in the city of Valdosta. But through y'all, we thank y'all because y'all are always sharing Kendrick posts. Some people are even posting about Kendrick, and they know exactly what happened to my son right here in Valdosta, Georgia. But yet, a third autopsy has been revealed, and still nothing. They don't want to do anything about it because it's shame on Louds High School. It ain't no other way to say it. Shame on Louds High School and the people that are in there and that were in there on January the 10th, 2013. Me and my family has suffered for 6 long years. 6 long years. The way they have tried to do us, it's just not even human. They treat dogs better than they have treated my family. And we still gonna stand regardless to who with us, but we asking everybody, if you can, please come and stand with us. Please come stand with us. Please come march with us. We're gonna continue to raise awareness about Kendrick because they don't want the world to know about the 17-year-old that was killed in Louds High School. They don't want nobody to know all the things that were done to Kendrick in Lowndes High School. They want to keep it right around here in Valdosta and have little trolls all on the internet lying on us and slandering our name, but we don't even worry about that. Our thing has been getting the truth and finding out exactly what happened to Kendrick Johnson. Nothing more and nothing less. Step number 1 has already been taken. No doubt about it. Kendrick Johnson was murdered. So what's next? You can't even get the sheriff department to do their job. When you know the autopsy done came out, full evidence done came out, but yet they'll backslide it by trying to make it look like it was an accident. You can't make a murder or accident no matter how you try. No matter how you try, you cannot make a murder an accident. Call it what it is. Murder is murder. Kendrick was murdered at Lowndes High School in the broad daylight. And again, I'm going to keep saying it. Please, if you can, come stand with us on January the 12th, 2019, Saturday. This Saturday, if you can, tell a friend to tell a friend about Kendrick Johnson. Don't let him not be remembered. Don't let it take him 60 years to get justice. We need all y'all help. Not just some of y'all. We need all y'all help. Kendrick deserved justice. Kendrick went to school just like the rest of the children did, trying to get his education, trying to better himself, trying to make a better life for his family. But yet, they killed him. And still nobody want to do nothing about it. They want to cover it up. They want to make sure like we lying. We want to act like we all about money. What we're about is Kendrick Johnson. At the end of the day, that was our son. And if we don't fight for him, who will fight for him? There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do to have my son back. Because one thing about it, they done called us poor. They done called us all kind of name, degrading us, saying all kind of things, put my children's pictures up, my family pictures up for no reason. Why? Why? Just because you're ignorant and you think you're not touchable because you done got away with doing what you do for so long that we're the first black family in Valdosta to have ever fought y'all and not bite down. And we're not going to bite down. Because at the end of the day, you can call us poor, you can call us anything you want, but we had one another and that was enough. We was rich in love and that was the best thing you could have ever asked for. And Thursday, it hurt so bad to know I got to go to the grave to talk about my son. To talk to my son. My son ain't here no more. We don't have many people in Valdosta that stand with us. They all made like they're afraid, and a lot of them just don't care because it's not them. It's not their child. It's not at their doorstep. They don't understand what this type of pain feel like. To continue to have to go to birthdays at the graveyard, to have to go to anniversaries at the graveyard, to have to go Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the holidays. Nothing will never, ever be the same again for us. I ask you to keep us lifted in prayers, because that's the best thing you can ever do. And if you're able to donate, because we're always in need. We're always fighting the fight that's unfinished. And a lot of people think it's all about the money, but it's not. It's not. It's about Kendrick Johnson. They can make people think what they want about us. Our family may not have been the best. We done had our trials and tribulations, but we had each other, and that was the best thing. That was the best thing. That was the best love. My son was manable. He didn't disrespect people. He said yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, because I raised my child to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. I raised my child, if you got a problem
with an adult. Come get me and I'll deal with it. Don't say nothing back. But you can't even, it's not even safe for your child to go to school. It's not even safe for your child to walk out the front door. It's not even safe for your child to listen to that loud music. It's not safe for your child. It's not safe for your child to walk in a backyard in the dark with a hoodie and Skittles and some tea. It's not safe for your child to go to the fair and you can leave them with their friends. You can't even walk in a different neighborhood without somebody stereotyping you. We're all the same, just a different color. And if you're a Christian person, we serving the same God. A lot of people don't feel like that they're better than other people, but no, you're not. No, you're not. I never felt, and I never could believe in a million years that my son would be dead. Never. And it's so hard right now. Y'all, it's hard right now to still accept the fact that my son is dead. It's just so hard. Like Kendrick would have been 23 years old right now on somebody's football team somewhere, playing ball, enjoying life. Me, the loudest mom in the football stand screaming, but yet instead I got to scream justice for my baby. There's not a day that go by that he's not on my heart. And then when I close my eyes, I got to see all those pictures, different faces that he had. When I know my child was a lively child, always full of life, smiling, ready to go to school, ready to play football, basketball, and run track. But now what? January the 12th, 2019. Please, if you can, come and stand with our family. Come, let's march. Have a peaceful march, but yet raise awareness and let them know that Kendrick Johnson's life mattered.
That's right. If they don't stand, I got to stand. Because at the end of every day, that's my son I got to go visit out there in that graveyard every day. They thought I was going to lose my mind, but guess what? Y'all just made this black mama here even stronger.
Still here?
Still here. Still in my right mind. Still in my right mind. We need everybody. Everybody. I need the community to get up off their behind and stand up. Stand up. Stand with the Johnson family. Let them people know they can't keep getting away with this in our city. Where the coalition of people at? You have so many people. I even had so many people that tell you they coming to Kendrick events and stuff. But the day of the event or the day after the event, and some of them don't even call you and say that, well, I ain't gonna be able to make it. I mean, people that you have for like guest speakers, but hey, just like I said, it's gonna go on with or without you. But you're supposed to be so professional. You want to call me for this and call me for that. Or you want to be seen on this and seen on that. But we as people, we got to support better. We got to love better. We got to just and simple do better. We got to. Everybody, every other race support each other. But our race, we will not support each other. And we will not do right by each other for nothing in this world. What is it?
So sad.
And it's very sad. What can we do as a coalition of people all over this world? I just don't know no more. What can anybody tell? What can we as a coalition, as people that's fighting for justice, what can we do to get it right? That's right, Deanna. We have to fight every day. Mothers and fathers that's done lost children to murder, we don't get a day off. We don't get a day off. We got to fight, and then we got to fight for justice, what should have been justice. We got to fight for what we should have already had. 6 years into the fight. 6 years into the fight. That's right. If they don't stand, I got to stand. Because at the end of every day, that's my son I got to go visit out there in that graveyard. Every day. There is nothing, and I'm going to keep stressing nothing that's going to stop us from fighting for Kendrick Johnson.
The whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
It's deep racism here. Just like they want respect, we want respect. We are not going to tolerate it, and we're going to keep pushing for what's right. Because we know the truth is right around the corner. There's some good information coming out pretty soon, and they gonna have to acknowledge what happened. But they know what happened. But it's gonna be all right.
Go ahead. Give them the real.
Be real.
I'm just gonna keep on saying, I'm gonna stand. They can be mad with me. They can talk much junk as they want to talk about us. They can do what they want to do.
Yo.
But we gonna still stand up for Kendrick Johnson. We ain't going nowhere.
We here.
We claim the 2019 Kendrick here, but if it ain't, guess what? They gonna see us again 2020, 2021, 2022. And I'm telling you, we ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna tell them like I told them from day one. They messed around and killed the wrong child.
Wrong child.
Come on, y'all, say Kendrick Johnson.
Kendrick Johnson.
His life matter, whether you know it or not. While all I'm standing right now, what about their child?
That's right.
One day it could be their child. They standing there looking at me, but I know so many people that's on the same side I'm on now. Their children dead. I fought for Kendrick Johnson when he was alive. When my child was alive. You ain't got to say none of these parents. Call me because I'm coming. Ask McPherson, that coach. When he let them put them in the police car. Baby, when my child go with you, I don't care what color he is, white, black, or green. You are responsible for him. No, you not going to let nobody put my child in no police car. He wasn't on no arrest. Ask him how it went to him. Don't you ever, ever put my child in no police cruiser. He ain't committed no crime. But y'all had the nerve to ride him in a police car. About the same situation. And it's ridiculous how they disrespect us. But when we go to disrespecting them back, we all kind of thugs. We all kind of hooligans. We all kind of black people that ain't been raised right.
Preach.
Well,
Preach.
who the hell raised y'all to
Preach.
cover up all these murders?
Preach.
Who gave y'all credentials? It don't make no sense. Where y'all got it? Y'all can't serve the same God we serve. You can't. I'm telling you, it's been 6 years and they talking about a black mama. I angry. Hell yeah, I'm mad. That's my child. We don't have to bring him up and bury him 3 times. Can you only imagine? Can you only imagine? It's hard as hell to see him buried 1 time, but 3 times just to get to the goddamn truth. And when the truth right there in y'all face from day one, when they lied and say he didn't have no physical bruises, well, what the hell you call all that? That was on my child. What is it? We had a stillborn, so we know what real Martha is. It ain't none of that. None of that. My child suffered at this school and it don't make no sense. You got all this out here now. Blocking all these entries, but where the hell were you when Kendrick Johnson needed you? Where were you?
Where you was at?
Where were you? Had all them officers at the schoolhouse. All of them. But where were you when my son was crying out? Where were you? But you're ready to take us to jail for doing anything. You should be taking your own self to jail. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, all the grinning and snickering and bickering. It don't make no sense. We don't bother y'all. We fight for our child. Just like you would fight for yours if this is your child. You get up in the morning saying, yeah, I'm going to arrest a nigga. I'm going to get some of these black children.
Sad.
And it's ridiculous.
Sad.
How long it's going to take for y'all? Until it's one of y'all. Until it's one of y'all. But if it was little Andy out there, rolled up in a wrestling match, and then they gonna tell a lie, talking about they stopped school. No, they didn't. Children was walking all on top of me. It's ridiculous. They was walking all on top of me. The bell rang, 50,000 kids going everywhere. But then they talking about they stopped school. They meant to contaminate their they meant to. How many more children got to die? How many more parents got to keep suffering? 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
How many more? How long?
Amen.
Good morning, everybody. Or good evening, rather. So today, I get up to go out the door about 9 o'clock. And to find out somebody has thrown a brick and bust my bike glass out. Yes, somebody has thrown a brick and bust my back glass out of my car. I don't know whether it was an attack from the enemy. Well, all of my enemies. I don't know if it was an attack from what happened to Kendrick Johnson, or was it just an attack of somebody else being mad. But I do want them to know that's not stopping nothing. We still fight for Kendrick Johnson. Ain't nothing they can do. They can throw bricks and whatever.
but we still gonna fight for Kendrick Johnson. Like I always tell them, y'all messed around and y'all done killed the wrong child.
The wrong way.
This baby right here, just like this shirt say, Kendrick Johnson matter. And we gonna let y'all know all day, every day, that Kendrick Johnson life matter. And you cannot put no dollar on nobody's life. I don't care how you try it.
Period.
You cannot. And if you out there, and you threw a brick at my window, guess what? Kendrick Johnson still matter. You mad. You big mad. But you will be all right. Because guess what? We still going to fight for Kendrick Johnson.
Period.
There's nothing that you can do or say to stop us from fighting for Kendrick Johnson. He deserves justice and he will get justice. Like, we've been fighting for 6 years, so do you think now, right now, that we're going to stop? Hey, how y'all doing? Do y'all really think that we're going to stop fighting?
6 years.
6 years we've been in this fight. Ain't nothing nobody can do to make us stop fighting for Kendrick. Hey, Miss Yvette. Yes, y'all, I woke up this morning, went out the door around 9 o'clock, and somebody has threw a brick and bust our back glass out our car. Yes, these are the things, attacks we're going through right now. I don't know if it was some random person, or I don't know if it's somebody that's part of what's going on with Kendrick, but it still ain't stopping us. Yes, it's still not stopping us from fighting for Kendrick. We're going to continue to fight for Kendrick. We're going to continue to agitate him, aggravate him, and do everything that we're supposed to do to fight for justice for Kendrick Johnson. His life mattered then, and it sure enough matter now. We're going to be the ones that let Valdosta, Georgia know you cannot do what you want to do and get away with it. It's not going to happen with Kendrick Johnson. You can lie and lie all you want to, but the truth is coming out.
So you might as well get ready for it.
This is a day that, I guess they thought we were going to be crying in sorrow, somebody threatening us or somebody bothering us. No, that kind of stuff don't work. One of the worst things you could have ever done was kill my child. And think it's okay? No, you might have got away with a lot of more murders, but this is one you would not get away with.
Is the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
Get in the real.
Be real.
I'm just going to keep on saying, I'm going to stand. They can be mad with me. They can talk much junk as they want to talk about us. They can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But we going to still stand up for Kendrick Johnson. We ain't going nowhere.
We here.
We claim the 2019 Kendrick here, but if it ain't, guess what? They going to see us again 2020,
Yeah.
2021,
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
And continue. We ain't going nowhere.
No.
I'm going to tell them like I told them from day one. They messed around and killed the wrong child.
Wrong child.
Come on, y'all. Say Kendrick Johnson.
Kendrick Johnson.
His life matter, whether
Right.
you know it or not. While all I'm standing right now, what about their child?
That's right.
One day it could be their child. They standing there looking at me, but I know so many people that's on the same side I'm on now. Their children dead just like mine. But it's so many mothers right here in Valdosta. Where you at?
Where you at?
Where you at?
Where you at?
Your child got shot up, killed up, and it's so many, and it's sad. Ain't none of them got no backbone nowhere. Nowhere. If y'all don't fight for your children, who gonna fight for them? Because I'm gonna fight for all mine.
Amen.
I fought for Kendrick Johnson when he was alive.
Tell him.
When my child was alive.
Tell him.
You ain't got to say none of these parents. Call me because I'm coming.
Coming.
Ask McPherson, that coach,
Yeah.
when he let them put them in the police car. Baby, when my child go with you, I don't care what color he is, white, black, or green. You are responsible for him.
Damn right.
No, you not gonna gonna let nobody put my child in no police car. He wasn't on no arrest. Ask him how it went to him. Don't you ever, ever put my child in no police cruiser. He ain't committed no crime. But y'all had the nerve to ride him in a police car. About the same situation. And it's ridiculous how they disrespect us. But when we go to disrespecting them back, we all kind of thugs. We all kind of hooligans.
Preach.
We all kind of black people that ain't been raised right.
Preach.
Well, who the hell raised y'all to
Preach.
cover up all these murders?
Preach.
Who gave y'all credentials? It don't make no sense. Where y'all got it? Y'all can't serve the same God we serve. You can't. I'm telling you, it's been 6 years and they talking about a black mama. I angry. Hell yeah, I'm mad. That's my child. We done had to bring him up and bury him 3 times. Can you only imagine? Can you only imagine? It's hard as hell to see him buried 1 time, but 3 times just to get to the goddamn truth. And when the truth right there in y'all face from day one, when they lied and say he didn't have no physical bruises, well, what the hell you call all that? That was on my child. What is it? We had a steel bond, so we know what real monster is. It ain't none of that. None of that. My child suffered at this school, and it don't make no sense. You got all this out here now. Blocking all these entries, but where the hell were you when Keith Johnson needed you? Where were you?
Where you was at?
Where were you? Had all them officers at the schoolhouse. All of them. But where were you when my son was crying out? Where were you? But you're ready to take us to jail for doing anything. You should be taking your own self to jail. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, all the grinning and snickering and bickering. It don't make no sense. We don't bother y'all. We fight for our child. Just like you would fight for yours if this is your child. Come on. You get up in the morning saying, yeah, I'm going to arrest a nigga. I'm going to get some of these black children.
Sad.
And it's ridiculous.
Sad.
How long it's going to take for y'all? Until it's one of y'all. Until it's one of y'all. But if it was little Andy out there, rolled up in a wrestling match, and then they gonna tell a lie, talking about they stop school. No, they didn't. Children was walking all on top of me. It's ridiculous. They was walking all on top of me. The bell rang, 50,000 kids going everywhere. But then they talking about they stopped school. They meant to contaminate that. They meant to. How many more children got to die? How many more parents got to keep suffering? 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
How many more? How long?
Amen.
Be real.
I'm just gonna keep on saying, I'm gonna stand. They can be mad with me. They can talk much junk as they want to talk about us. They can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But we gonna still stand up for Kendrick Johnson. We ain't going nowhere.
We here.
We claim the 2019 Kendrick here, but if it ain't, guess what? They gonna see us again 2020,
Yeah.
2021,
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
And continue. We ain't going nowhere.
No.
I'm gonna tell them like I told them from day one. They messed around and killed the wrong child.
Wrong child.
Come on, y'all, say Kendrick Johnson.
Kendrick Johnson.
His life matter, whether
Right.
you know it or not. While all I'm standing right now, what about their child?
That's right.
One day it could be their child. They standing there looking at me, but I know so many people that's on the same side I'm on now. Their children dead just like mine. But it's so many mothers right here in Valdosta. Where you at?
Where you at?
Where you at?
Where you at?
Your child got shot up, killed up, and it's so many, and it's sad. Ain't none of them got no backbone nowhere. Nowhere. If y'all don't fight for your children, who gonna fight for them? Because I'm gonna fight for all mine. I fought for Kendrick Johnson when he was alive. When my child was alive. You ain't got to say none of these parents. Call me because I'm coming. Ask Miss Pearson, that coach. When he let them put them in the police car. Baby, when my child go with you, I don't care what color he is, white, black, or green. You are responsible for him. No, you not going to let nobody put my child in no police car. He wasn't on no arrest. Ask him how it went to him. Don't you ever, ever put my child in no police cruiser. He ain't committed no crime. But y'all had the nerve to ride him in a police car. About the same situation. And it's ridiculous how they disrespect us. But when we go to disrespecting them back, we all kind of thugs. We all kind of hooligans. We all kind of black people that ain't been raised right.
Preach!
Well, who the hell raised y'all to cover up all these murders?
Preach!
Who gave y'all credentials? It don't make no sense. Where y'all got it? Y'all can't serve the same God we serve. You can't. I'm telling you, it's been 6 years and they talking about a black mama. I angry. Hell yeah, I'm mad. That's my child. We don't have to bring him up and bury him 3 times. Can you only imagine? Can you only imagine? It's hard as hell to see him buried 1 time, but 3 times just to get to the goddamn truth. And when the truth right there in y'all face from day one, when they lied and say he didn't have no physical bruises, well, what the hell you call all that? That was on my child. What is it? We had a stillborn, so we know what rhythm Martha is. It ain't none of that. None of that. My child suffered at this school, and it don't make no sense. You got all this out here now. Blocking all these interests, but where the hell were you when Kendrick Johnson needed you? Where were you?
Where you was at?
Where were you? Had all them officers at the schoolhouse. All of them. But where were you when my son was crying out? Where were you? But you're ready to take us to jail for doing anything. You should be taking your own self to jail. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, all the grinning and snickering and bickering. It don't make no sense. We don't bother y'all. We fight for our child. Just like you would fight for yours if this is your child. Come on. You get up in the morning saying, yeah, I'm going to arrest a nigga. I'm going to get some of these black children.
Sad.
And it's ridiculous.
Sad.
How long it's going to take for y'all? I'm telling you, one of y'all.
Is the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
Greetings. Somebody said that it couldn't be done. Somebody said that I could not stand up and talk about 31 great jail deaths in the Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail from 1994 to 2009. And from 2009 to 2014, 31 jail deaths. And from 2009 to current, nobody knows how many people have died. In fact, people are not even talking about it, and nobody cares here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, Georgia. That includes the judges, the law enforcement, the politicians, the churches and pastors and religious communities, and the politicians, not to mention the citizens. Very few people care about the ill conditions in the Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail. Yesterday, a white lady gave out a gas, and I stopped to help her, and she told me that she was incarcerated. And she told me about the conditions out there, how she was sexually harassed, and she getting ready to put in a complaint if she can get it through. Because when I went out there with a mother who was the mother of a 14-year-old girl at Pineville Middle School, they didn't have any complaint forms for her to file about what happened to her daughter. And the Valdosta Daily newspaper, the Valdosta Daily Times, and TV station refused to publish anything about that mother and father's daughter. They was up from Miami. They came here to go to school, and you'd be surprised what happened to them, but Google this channel. So somebody said that it couldn't be done. It can't be done that a person in Valdosta and Loudoun County can do what Jesus said outside of playing the religious games in churches and explain what's going on here so the world will know the truth. And this is what God wants us to do. So we don't know what these other Christians are doing. I don't know what the other Muslims are doing. I don't know what the other Jews and Hindu are doing, or Buddhists. But God demands that his followers tell the truth so the people can be made free. And so somebody said it couldn't be done. To talk about what your mainstream news media refuse to talk about because they are apparently in the clique and among the slick. And we have here in Valdosta and Loudoun County the best news media outlets that money can buy. And let me say this, because some people said it couldn't be done. It can't be published that Valdosta and Metro City only have one newspaper. Yeah, one. And that's the Valdosta Daily Times. Now, is that by design? And I'm not talking about since the computers. They've been that way for a long time, before the computers came out. And they are so one-sided, my friend. But don't take my word for it. Just call somebody. Walk the street here in Valdosta and talk to the black side of town and ask them. Find intelligent white people, white right people. Ask them. And they'll tell you the truth, man. But you're not going to get it through mainstream media. You know why? Because somebody said that it couldn't be done. That's why my criminal trespass, 5 years and 2 months. Not one TV station, not one radio station. The Valdosta Daily Times refused to paint the picture about the Kendrick Johnson death and why they put me on the criminal trespass. It seemed like the Valdosta Daily Times is a part of a system that somebody said it couldn't be done. May I give you this in closing? Because these videos are short. Y'all say the long ones are too long. And so I chose to accommodate you who want short videos. But the message is going to be the same. Because the truth, whether you put it in short form or long form, is still the truth. And Matthew says, 24:35, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set and make you free. And Ecclesiastes 8:8 says, no man has power over the spirit to retain the spirit. And somebody else has read, for this is the will of God, not going to church, falling down on the floor, holler hallelujah, and take all the people's money. For this is the will of God. For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that you present yourselves as a holy sacrifice, holy and right, upright before the God of creation. Present yourselves as a living sacrifice. That means that when somebody tells you it cannot be done, to keep on trying to bring changes in a wicked, unjust system. Let me share this with you and I'll close this video out. Sorry for the length because I want to keep them less than 5. I learned this poem in the 7th grade and I put it to memory. It has become a part of my operandi. Somebody said that it couldn't be done. But he was a chuckle reply that maybe it couldn't. But he would be one who wouldn't say so until he tried. So he took off his coat, he took off his hat, and the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With the lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quitting, he started to sing as he tackled a thing that could not be done. And he did it. He did it. You see, somebody scoffed. Oh, you'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it. But just take off your hat. Just take off your coat. And whatever it is, you'll do it. You see, there are thousands that tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands that prophesy failure. There are thousands that point out to you one by one the dangers that waits to assail you. But just take off your hat, just take off your coat, and whatever it is, you'll do it But you won't do it if you're not a real Christian. You won't do it if you're not a real Muslim. You will not do it unless you're an original Ethiopian Jew. You won't do it if you are not a real Buddhist. But when you stand up on the square of God's truth, it's something that burns inside of you. Something ticks away at every second. Some that ticks away at every minute. Something that ticks away at every half hour. Something that ticks away at every hour, on the hour, in the day, throughout the day, in the week, and for centuries, and you just can't stop it. And so that's where we are. Once again, we report what others ignore. I started this because I got tired of watching wicked mainstream news media just making fools out of people. Not fools, I'll take that back. As my friend John Roberts, making oozes out of people. People in churches sitting in the pulpit making oozes out of people. Telling people, look to your neighbor and tell them you love them. How can you make a person lie like that? In church, of all places. They tell you to reach over and catch your neighbor's hand and tell them you love them. And you may know that man running around with your wife. Who would make such a request in the house of God out of great ignorance and stupidity? If you know better, then do better. Man, I'm telling y'all, I talk like this because